What's happening, guys? We are back at it. It is September. I want to talk about the top 3 mistakes that crappie fishermen make and how you can fix it. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, that's a good one. There he is. Look at that one. Nice one. Oh, another good one. Look at that one. I convinced him. Come on, come on. There we go, we got you. Boom, probably another 12, maybe 11 incher right there. And guys, we're using that dirty bait Slayer in that ghost pearl. I talk about it all the time, especially with this transition right now. A lot of the times these fish are going to be targeting small bait fish or just bait fish in general. So utilizing this color right here, any kind of shad color. It could be like your translucents, your pearls, your whites, anything that has a little bit of flake in it can work out so well for you, especially this time of the year. All right, guys, let's talk about mistake number 1, and that's moving up too shallow, too fast. Yeah, we're having these cooler mornings. Yeah, we're, getting in that transition, but do not get ahead of those crappie. Do not get up there and start beating the bank and just assume they're there. Stay out a little bit deeper and work your way up. So if your deeper locations are not working right away, start scooting up just a little bit more shallow, but not the shallowest. So what I mean by that is if your offshore stuff is, it looks kind of vacant and there's not a lot of fish there, you're not catching a lot of fish, they're probably on the move. With these mornings being a little bit cooler, the water temperature is dropping just a little bit, they're going to start getting in this transition. Yes, they typically go shallow, but they don't go shallow immediately. It's actually a process. So they'll be out deep, they'll work their way up toward creeks, they'll find some sort of staging area. It could be, a rock pile, it could be a bluff bank, it could be standing timber, but a lot of the times they'll start scooting up on these flats, these shallower flats, and start hunkering to locations closer to like creeks or little pockets. And then when it starts to get a little bit cooler, they work their way back into the shallower cover. So work out deeper and then slowly work towards shallow water, targeting those points, those shallower flats, maybe those bluff banks, or any kind of structure that may hold them leading back into those creeks. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that. Oh man, that thing is absolutely loaded. Oh man. Loaded, my friend. Where's it located? Oh man, that thing is absolutely loaded. Look at that joker, man. Oh man, that right there. Look at all those dots. A limb, 26 feet. Beautiful. That feel like a crappie. Yeah, good old little crab skis. And that's a prime example right there why you don't go up too shallow. We're fishing in about 25 foot right now. I know you probably can't see this too well. The sun's beaming on you, but right there. Mistake number 1, going too shallow. Look at the spotted bass. Or good crappie. Look at that crappie. Nice black crappie. Well, that was a spotted bass for sure. Back-to-back cast. Another beautiful crappie. Black crappie. As you can see, all those little dots on it make that a black crappie. And he fought very, very well. That's a great crappie right there for eating. See you, buddy. Thanks for playing with us. Another beautiful crappie, man. Look at that one. Come on, man. You kidding me? Another black crappie. You can see the spots on that. Man, this thing is beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, man. Guys, and this is going to bring me to mistake number 2. Let's go ahead and release this beautiful fish. Oh, man. Thank you for playing with us, man. We'll see you next time. Go grow and be bigger. Get bigger. And we'll catch you next time. So, mistake number 2 is not utilizing your graphs. You saw right there, we were scanning this deep channel swing. Deep channel swing. And I know we said, you know, don't go shallow. And it literally looked like we were up against the bank. But that channel swing is super deep. And a couple of them had small little flats on it. And we were scanning. We saw that huge tree with that huge, almost looking like a bait ball inside of it. That huge cloud with all those little dots. Do not undermine, do not underestimate your graph. Like I said, a lot of the times when the temperature starts to drop, the water gets a little bit cooler, we assume that we need to shoot back into the creeks or some of these points leading back into these creeks, and we have to fish super shallow. So we go into these creeks or we stop at these points and we see these shallow laydowns and we just target them. And we see stobs sticking up and we just target them. Instead of using your graph and locating them, the mistake that I'm talking about is guys will just waste tons of their time hitting tons of key structure that they see, they visually see, and they fish them and there's nothing even there. So utilize your graph. The mistake that I see, the mistake that I make from time to time is just trying to hurry up and locate certain spots and not using your graph to locate those fish. Guys, we located a mega school. I've never been to this spot before. I'm just scanning. And the number one thing that I absolutely love about fishing and now is utilizing my graph to optimize my time that I have out here on the water. I'm catching more instead of just casting more. I'm finding these targets, making those casts, you know, changing my baits and, you know, catching these fish to where I'm not guessing anymore, taking the guesswork out of it. Tip number 2, use your graphs to locate these fish. Good crappie. Not a giant, but it's one. Out deep, baby. Look at this little guy. Tiny guy. Definitely a keeper though. Just dropping it down there. You can see the jig dropping down into that pile right there. There's a bunch of them about 10 feet. Go ahead and lock it in. Already got it. Come here, boy. There he is. Now, like I mentioned, you know, so we're kind of at the mouth on one of these long tapering points out here on this flat that's actually a little bit shallower than we typically target in the summertime. That's 3 or 4 fish right there, back to back. Another one. Ooh. Maybe pushing 10, maybe 11. So, all right, so this is gonna bring me to the third mistake, and it's actually using the wrong jig size and the wrong color. So when I pull up to a piece of structure, I want to start making those casts, and a lot of the times I make it with that 1/8 ounce, and it gets down there pretty quick. And a lot of the times when that bait gets fairly close to that piece of structure, you can really tell the mood of those fish. You know, they'll either come up to it real quick or you'll get a bite almost immediately. And sometimes they just look at it and follow it all the way back to the boat. A lot of the times that tells you that you either have the wrong jig size head or the wrong color. So I typically start with that 1/8 ounce jig head, allow it to go down there, and if that doesn't work, I start to lighten it up. The next thing will be the color. Now, it is September, we're getting into that fall transition, and a lot of the times, the #1 word that everybody mentions is in the fall is bait. So you want to definitely mimic your bait colors, maybe your translucent colors, your pearls, your white flakes, ghost pearl, and Dirty Bait has tons of other little shad imitators, but definitely make sure that you're using the right size head and you're using the right color. But they are my 3 biggest mistakes leading up into the fall is, you know, trying to jump up and fish shallow way too early, not using my electronics and just jump into key pieces of structure that typically been working. And then #3 is not downsizing or changing the color quick enough. But there you have it, guys. I always appreciate you coming along. If you guys have any tips or tricks that you guys typically have running into the fall transition, leave them down below. If you feel like this video is going to help you or it has helped you, give it a thumbs up. But until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.